Good afternoon, fans. This is your girl from Mel's Chat. How is everybody doing today? This is episode 298. I'm sorry I'm a little late today. I'm really far behind today. A lot of things are going on with my health, and I've been just discombobulated lately. But everything is working out, and I am just so super freaking glad about it, and I'm just, bopping away today, trying to catch up on the stuff that I've been really going nuts about. Now, I know on my social media that I have different picture and everything. I'm trying to get my verification back. It's a pain in the ass, but that's me. I'm telling you right now. So don't hesitate and everything. I'm trying to get Instagram changed. I'm trying to get everything. That is going to be my picture for a long time. I don't know how long it's going to take me before I can get an actual better, like more of a logo and everything with my likeness on it, and then I don't have to worry about it and whatnot. So hopefully everybody's doing well, and I'm just doing fantastically lately, like other than my health. But hopefully everybody's having a good Friday. I'm having a decent Friday. And hopefully, everything will be well. Tomorrow I'm going to be visiting my son, and tonight I just have a lot going on tonight, with SmackDown and everything like that. So I really want to get through this. I'm going to get you out of here today. This will be the first fucking week we're going to be dealing with 5 shows. We're going to have Collision, we're going to have Rampage and Dynamite, and then we're going to have Raw and SmackDown. I don't know if anybody watched NXT. I'm not going to even mention it, other than that Judgment Day on it, and I was watching the excerpts on Twitter and shit like that, and you know um I was just following along on Twitter, YouTube, the whole giddy up and everything like that. So, I hey, for me to be seeing mommy twice in a 1 week it gives me it warms the cockle of my soul. It's about to rain here, and it's like so dark in my kitchen. I had to turn the light on. So, but yeah, we're gonna do the 5 shows. I'm gonna get you out of here as quickly as possible. And I had to, I'm gonna get you out of here as quickly as I can. So that means I'm gonna try to be very quick with my promotional stuff, and not too much giving my thoughts on it, just to give you what's going on. And of course, I'm gonna give you my little spits, but I'm gonna try to keep this under like maybe an hour and 45 minutes. Okay. So, let's see. Please, please do me a favor and go check out the people over at harrys.com. Visit their website for all your shaving and toiletry essentials. Also, please go check out the people over at Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com. Visit their website for all your beard essentials. Please do me a favor, if you are trying to quench your thirst in this humidity and you don't want to be dealing with alcohol or anything like that, please do me a favor and go check out the people over at Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com and sample their spring water, unflavored flavored sparkling water, and iced tea. So great mixers if you want to use them for mixers. That's another idea. Please do me a favor. If your coffee is not cutting it, do me a favor and go check out the people over at Death Wish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com. Seriously, they have some good coffee. I drink it. I'm obsessed with it. I love all the flavors, but the blueberry has got to go. They finally came out with vanilla. Chef's kiss. So go check them out at deathwishcoffee.com. Now, if you support local independent professional wrestling. I do, and I am 100% behind House of Glory. Do me a favor, go check out their website, hogwrestling.net. They are coming up to their high intensity 10, and it's just been announced. Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zach, he is the House of Glory World Heavyweight Champion, and he's going to take on the likes of the New Japan legend Hiroshi Tanahashi, and it's fucking going to be great. It's going to be on August 18th. I'm not going to be able to go there. I wish I could, but I have so much going on this summer. It's not even funny. So I want you to go do me a favor. Please go check out Premiere app. Download it. It's $9.99 a month. You can watch it, and you can watch High Intensity 10. But if you can get to it and get to be there in person, if there's any tickets left, go to hogwrestling.net. Now, I'm going to do AEW first and the WWE, and then that's how I'm going to do these things. Hi, Chris. Hey, Christopher Denver. Welcome aboard. This is the first time I'm seeing you in my chat. How is it going? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Have you acknowledged your tribal chief lately? So we are coming up to Rampage. Rampage had its 100th episode last Friday. They had the first match was the trios match. The Elites, Hammond, Adam Page, the Young Bucks, Nick Jackson versus the Dark Order, Alex Reynolds, Evil Uno, and John Silver. So we started off with Alex Reynolds and Nick Jackson locked up. Nick hit a shoulder tackle, and Reynolds reciprocated. Alex took a shot at Hangman on the apron. Page insisted that Nick tagged him in. Page did a moonsault on the ring post to Alex Reynolds on the arena floor. Matt Jackson tagged and blasted Alex with the Locomotion Northern Lights suplex. Matt Jackson has shown why the Elites are such a potent trio. Page buckle bombed Alex Reynolds into the Elite's corner with the Bucks perfectly timed kicks to Reynolds' head. The Young Bucks hit risky business on Reynolds for a near fall. Chanted, "This is awesome. This is awesome." Yes, I seen you. I seen you on Twitter. I will get to you after I finish up here. Guarantee it. Reynolds shoved Matt through the ropes, sending him spilling to the outside. Evil Uno grabbed a tag and stomped a mud hole in Matt in the corner. The Elite have the Dark Order and Blackpool Combat Club gunning for them, said Excalibur. Worlds colliding, worlds colliding. That's what happens when you're on top. Everyone wants a piece of you, replied Chris Jericho. I forget that he's on doing commentary. John Silver cracked Matt with a forearm. Evil Uno served up vicious right hands. Reynolds hoisted Matt up onto the ropes, but Matt fought his way out of jeopardy, diving onto Evil Uno and John Silver on the outside. He neutralizes them on the floor and then made a tag to Adam Page. Page backdropped Reynolds over the top rope. Silver hit a diving crossbody press, but Page caught him and countered with a fallaway slam. Page jumped off the top and rocked Reynolds with a diving lariat. Hangman is on fire tonight, said Chris Jericho. In the back of their mind, the Elite has to be thinking about blooded cuts coming up on the 19th, said Excalibur. Evil Uno connected with a big boot to Adam Page. Uno tried again, but Page blocked it and walloped Evil Uno with a massive cowboy boot of his own. Page followed up with a shooting star press off the ring apron onto Evil Uno. Jackson smashed Reynolds with a facebuster and followed up with a Canadian destroyer. Page grabbed a blind tag and wiped out Reynolds with a lariat. Matt Jackson dropped an elbow, but Reynolds managed to kick out at two. The Young Bucks hit a Meltzer driver on Reynolds, but Evil Uno broke it up with a pin attempt. Evil Uno and Adam Page tagged in for their respective teams and slugged it out. Bucks super kicked Silver and then invited Evil Uno to a super kick party. I think if this ever were to happen, I'm telling you, it's going to be super kick soiree with the Bucks and the Usos. I swear. I mean, it's a girl's dream, you know. The Young Bucks held Evil Uno so that Hangman could go for a buckshot lariat, but Hangman hesitated. Reynolds and Silver grabbed Page's leg from the outside and the ring to prevent him from jumping, but the Bucks knocked the Dark Order down with tope suicidas. Can Adam Page bring himself to hit the buckshot lariat on his former friend Evil Uno? He wondered. Excalibur. Page flipped over for the buckshot lariat, but Evil Uno pulled the ref in front of him, using the referee as a human shield. Out of nowhere, Takesha jumped into the ring apron. The ref turned his attention to Takesha, and while doing so, Evil Uno caught Page with a low blow. Claudio Castagnoli ran into the ring and fired off a devastating uppercut to Hangman. Evil Uno seized the opportunity and Hangman Adam Page. Claudio and Takesha had steel chairs in their hands and entered the ring. Kenny Omega sprinted to the ring with a chair in his hands, evening the odds. Claudio and Takesha, thinking discretion was better part of valor, and they left the ring. So between the Dark Order and the Elite and the Blackpool Combat Club, it's just getting crazy, especially with the fucking bomb we got on Dynamite this week. It was fucking crazy. I am actually looking forward to it. Slowly but surely, like, I'm actually getting more and more hyped for AEW because it's getting back onto where it was back before Tony Khan decided to be Mr. Marathon Man and just kept on going and didn't have the people in place to help him. Because if you have people in place, your product gets better. And there you go. An installment of QTV air next. QT Marshall. QTV is back and we're on a win streak. First, congrats to Powerhouse Hobbs, not only making Dustin Rhodes bleed, but also moving on in the Owen Hart tournament. And a huge congratulations to Johnny TV. Oh yeah, me for winning our tag team match. Blind Eliminator Tag Team Tournament quarterfinal match. Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara versus Jeff Jarrett and Matt Hardy. Daniel Garcia taunted Matt Hardy by dancing. Hardy grabbed a side headlock and hit a shoulder tackle on Garcia. Matt catapulted Garcia into the middle of the rope and reluctantly tagged Jarrett in. Sammy tagged in Jarrett, hip tossed him. Sammy backflipped over Jarrett and then connected with a drop kick. Sammy jumped over the top rope with a corkscrew dive and wiped out Jay Lethal. Hardy dropped Daniel Garcia with a clothesline. Matt Hardy nailed Garcia with a splash mountain for a near fall. Hardy tried for a twist of fate, but Garcia escaped by tagging in Sammy. The ref was distracted by Sonya Dutt on the ring apron. Jay Lethal slid the guitar into the ring, but Matt Hardy kicked it out. Lethal and Hardy began to argue, and Sammy shoved Hardy from behind. Hardy inadvertently collided with Lethal. They hit heads, meeting in the minds. Sammy grabbed Matt and planted him with a GTH. Garcia snuck a tag and stole the pin on Hardy. Great teamwork there, said Jericho. I'm not so sure. Guevara is going to agree with the great teamwork, replied Shivani. The most important thing, they're moving on in the tournament. Danny was trying to screw Sammy, but he just wanted the victory, added Jericho. After the match, Matt Hardy was attacked by Sonya Dutt, Jeff Jarrett, Sanama Singh, and Jay Lethal. Brothers they ran down, but the numbers were too great. All ego, Ethan Page sprinted down the ring. Page cleaned house. And I'm glad that they're turning him face because of the fact that, I'm sorry, my allergies are killing me. And I'm glad he's coming into his own on AEW. Hikaru Shida versus the Problem, Marina Shafir. I'm not going to say anything because I love Roderick, and I'm just saying that Roderick, do me a favor. What I told Andrade, do to Marina, and we'll be good. Marina backed Sheeta into the corner, but Sheeta fired back with a drop kick. Marina flipped Shafir with a judo throw. Marina put Sheeta in a modified torture rack. Sheeta battered Marina with a rapid fire elbow strike. Marina dodged a missile drop kick. Sheeta came back with a Falcon Arrow for a near fall on Marina Shafir. Sheeta connected with a katana and pinned Marina. A great victory over a tough competitor. Tough competitor. Tough competitor. Yeah. Where? Where? Honestly, where? TBS champion Chris Statlander was backstage with Renee Paquette. Chris, I got to tell you, I feel pretty great. I've defended this title 6 times already, and I think it makes it pretty obvious that I am a fighting champion. Just like my best friends, I'm going to put this TBS title on the line against anyone, anytime, anywhere. I am the defeater of the undefeated. This TBS title is always on the line because Chris Statlander is where it's at. Oh yeah, Collision is great on a Saturday night. That's if I fucking remember it, and then I don't watch it on a Sunday morning. You know, main event time, tag team tournament, blind eliminated tag team tournament. Big Bill, Brian Cage with Prince Nana versus Matt Sydal and Trent Beretta. Cage hurled Sydal into the turnbuckles. Cage used his power and steamrolled onto Sydal. Trent and Big Bill tagged him for their respective teams. Trent chopped Big Bill. Trent tried for a tope suicida, but Big Bill caught him and chokeslammed Trent on the ring apron. Big Bill walloped Trent with a fallaway slam on the arena floor. Trent rallied back with a DDT. The Machine, Brian Cage, tagged in and punished Cage with a sequence of kicks. Cage tried for a drill claw, but Sydal reversed it into a Hurricane Rana for a near fall. Sydal dropped Big Bill with a double stomp off the turnbuckles. Trent followed up with a running knee strike. Cage caught Sydal and Trent caught off guard with a double lariat. Well, that's going to be at the end. That's actually going to be next on the itinerary. So, you know, to still stay with me. I'm almost done with Rampage. Seidel dropped Big Bill with a double stomp off the turnbuckles. Trent followed up with a running knee strike. Cage caught Seidel Trent off guard with a double lariat. Outside the ring, Trent speared Brian Cage. A desperation spear, but worked, said Shivani. Matt Seidel jumped off the barricade and crushed Big Bill with a meteora on opposite side of the ring. Seidel and Trent jumped off the turnbuckles at their opponents. Cage caught Matt and Big Bill intercepts. Cage caught Seidel like he was a part of the Matrix, said Jericho. Seidel ducked a charge from Cage and Big Bill caused them to collide. Trent grabbed Big Bill and sent him flying overhead with a half and half suplex. Cage followed up with a discus lariat to Trent, but Seidel ducked the discus lariat from Cage. Seidel clocked Cage with a jumping knee strike. Seidel went for a meteor, but Cage caught with a power bomb. Caught him with a power bomb on the turnbuckles. Cage positioned Seidel onto the turnbuckles, but Trent jumped up there and German suplex Cage. Trent spiked Cage with a pile driver. Matt landed the meteora, but Cage managed to kick out at 2. Unbelievable match, said Jericho. The fans chanted, "This is awesome! This is awesome!" Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to keep up with everything. It's like ridiculous. I need like more time in the week for that. Trent and Matt hit a double thrust kick on Big Bill, but Monster roared back with some double lariats. Big Bill choked slammed Trent Cage lifted up Seidel for a power bomb, and Big Bill put an exclamation point on the sentence with a lariat. The momentum causing Seidel to hit the mat with even more force. Cage pinned Seidel. I've never seen a combination like that before, said Excalibur. Wow, they earned it, added Shivani, and they are moving on. So that is that. Now, Collision. Collision. Holy shit. Samoa Joe versus CM Punk. Now that's shit. That's the wrestling that I want to see and I want to feel and I want to see on an every weekly basis. It was fucking incredible. I felt like I was like 12, 13 years old again watching the Attitude Era and watching the getting into the Ruthless Aggression era. And I could seriously watch that all fucking day. And they did some awesome odes to their match at Ring of Honor. We want to see another one of these matches, not now, but in like maybe 1 or 2 years, maybe down the line, maybe for a title, honestly. Now, Collision. Collision was awesome. Collision had some. Mwah. We had a tag team match. We had an Owen Hart Cup tournament match. It was delicious. And then of course we had the little side dishes, When you're watching a professional wrestling match, I think of it as because I'm a huge cook, as you can tell. I know I'm fat, so let's move on. I like to make a meal. I like to make sure that the meal is complimentary. When you have perfect wrestling matches and when you have good wrestling matches, makes the entire meal delicious. This was a quintessential perfect Saturday night worth of wrestling. We started off with CM Punk came down to the ring in street clothes to kick off the show, demanding a microphone. You shut the fuck up, you sit the fuck down, and you just open your ears and you just don't say anything. CM Punk, I've got a big match today. There's some history that needs to be detailed. It's just not about me. It's not just about Joe. It's about everybody here in Heart Stampede country. This is the biggest match of my career. If Joe kills me in a dream, he'll wake up and apologize. Feels like the finals of the tournament, but it's not. I'd be looking past Hobbs and Starks, but tonight history will be made. Samoa Joe has said it, and he is right. It's been 18 years since I've been in the ring with Samoa Joe. I've got missing teeth and scars because of this man. Bigger than me. He's bigger than me. Joe is Joe is. Joe versus Punk, and that's Owen Hart. If it wasn't for Owen Hart, a lot of that locker room might be empty right now. I might not be here right now. None of us would be here if it was not for Owen Hart. I'm a hockey guy, and I know that this is a hockey town, but I'm not also not superstitious. I will touch the trophy, not because I deserve it, but because I will earn it. Now, by this whole situation, you know for a fact that CM Punk is winning this. There's no fucking chance in hell that he's not winning this. Yeah, I know I just said a fucking Vince McMahon saying, I'm sorry, all right? That fucking goddamn saying has been well before Vince McMahon, okay? So let's just set that straight right now. But this is going to be his redemption story from what he fucking did and basically goddamn opened his mouth and inserted his fucking foot. And we're just going to have to, I'm not going to discredit his wrestling ability, but his personality and his attitude, I'm not so keen on. But that's what makes him him. He goes on to say, I cannot promise a victory. I've never beat Samoa Joe, but believe But I believe, and one thing I can promise you is in that ring, win, lose, or draw, I will leave everything in that ring for you, for me, for you sitting at home, and for Owen. We start off with an Owen Hart Cup tournament. We have Powerhouse Hobbs versus Absolute Ricky Starks, former Team Taz members. They locked up and Hobbs shoved Starks into the turnbuckles. Starks ducked a lariat but ate a forearm from Powerhouse. Starks clothesline in the corner with stiff shots. Hobbs caught a charging Starks with a hard back elbow. Hobbs planted Starks with a vertical suplex. If you're creating a wrestler for a fight for the fall on video game, you wind up with a physical specimen like Powerhouse Hobbs, said Kevin Kelly. By the way, I believe that there is a lot of WWE superstars that have been created in Fight for the Fallen. So if you could get your, then you could have your dream matches there, as well as 2K23. He's the ideal wrestler, said Nigel. Starks escaped a hole from Hobbs and countered with a high stacked power bomb. Starks hit with a DDT. QT grabbed Starks' ankle as he was running the ropes. As the ref was abolishing QT Marshall, Hobbs nailed Starks with a spine buster. Hobbs went for the pin, but the ref was still distracted by QT, who was on the apron. Hobbs got up and screamed at QT to get down. Starks hit Hobbs, knocking Hobbs into QT Marshall. Starks followed up with a massive spear to Powerhouse and then scored a pin. After the match, QT Marshall approached Powerhouse Hobbs in the ring. QT was pleading his case as best he could. I am sorry, said QT. Hobbs shoved QT Marshall to the mat, which was, I'm hoping that Hobbs is not as is not good as a heel. Okay, those are good. But that's going to happen. I'd be very shocked if that happens. Honestly. So then Aaron Solo jumped into the ring, placed to be Peacemaker. Hobbs slammed Solo with a spawnbuster. Harley Cameron jumped in between Hobbs and QT, acting as a human shield. And an enraged Hobbs left the ring and headed to the back by himself. QT Marshall was lucky that woman was there to save him, said Kevin Kelly. Yes, but we all know that's going to happen. I mean, look at it. Look at the way everything is playing out. The Redeemer, Nero, had some powerful, ominous words for his opponents. Many men have lost themselves after a deal with the devil, but not only one man has found himself after a showdown with his God. Nobody can hurt the man who he has nothing left to love, nothing left to covet. I cannot be tempted by my path, not by a false God or a double jointed hot wife. I am Nero. Understand if CJ Parker wants to come to AEW, she's not going to be a professional wrestler. Tony knows that. Just put him back and do what they did in WWE, but do it better. Oh my God. There's some things that Tony Khan has like legitimately like hanging in the balance. Willow Nightingale was backstage with Tony Schiavone. Willow, the injury was not the way I wanted to return to Collision. Ring of Honor Women's Champion Athena interrupted. This injury is legit. We all know why you're delaying this match. You didn't want to take another L to the ROH Women's Champion. I love that they made it more. They took that title and they made it the way it should be. Now let's see if Impact can do the same thing. Get rid of the knockouts. Get rid of the knockouts because that seems like you're separating it. And they have transgender people. Shouldn't that be all inclusive? And I am pulling that out there. All right. Willow, this Friday at Rampage, I'll be ready. The House of Black, Julia Hart versus Bambi Hall. Julia Hart kicked Bambi in the thigh. Julia tripped Bambi and then slapped her in the face. Julia applied the Heartless Lock on Bambi and forced her to quickly tap out. Color me impressed, Julia Hart with a quick victory, said Nigel. 24 straight wins now. AEW competition for Julia Hart and Kevin Kelly. If they're going to take the title off Chris Statlander or possibly take the title off of Toni Storm, she could be in contention for that title. An undisclosed location, Malachi Black had a message for Andrade El Idolo. Malachi, why is the guy who wears the mask telling me I can't wear a mask? Maybe you'll understand why I took yours. You didn't become who you are until you took off the mask. Well, I have to hide in plain sight with my mask. You don't realize when you took off your mask, you had no more power. You can't seem to let go of your mask, and you can't seem to see how great you can be until I show you. Together, we'll make sure that the entire world will see how truly great how truly great I know you are. Please, for the love of God. I think if this happens somewhere in fucking the LWO, Zelina Vega is going to have this big grin on her face, seeing the man that she fucking managed to the man that she fucks, basically. Lexi Nair backstage with Andrade El Idolo. Andrade, Malachi. You look at me. I am a businessman. I hide behind my mask? I'm not a coward like you. My mask is everything to me. It's about my family, about my culture, about my country, about all Latin people. So when I have my mask on, I forget the business, and when I take my mask off, it's time to fight, time to win. I think he knows a little bit about Latin people, okay? I mean, for Christ's sakes, he lays right next to one every fucking night when he's home. Unless she's throwing the chocolate at him, I can't help you, bro. I can't help you. You got to understand us Latin women. And I am Latin. Yes, I am. And it doesn't make me look at it, but I'm a quarter Puerto Rican, and that makes me just as much Latin as Andrade, as Ray, Dominic, Zelina. I've actually looked it up, people. I'm proud to be Puerto Rican. I've been always proud to be Puerto Rican. And I wave that flag high and mighty. And I am Latinx just as much as they are. My abuela is from San Juan, Puerto Rico. And I know how to roll my R's, okay, people? Eliminator match. AEW Tag Team Champions FTR Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood versus the Bullet Club Gold, Switchblade, Jade White, and Rockhard Juice Robinson. Yes, I will enunciate that, people, okay? Okay. Dax took down Jay White with a side headlock. Dax hip toss Switchblade. Juice tagged in to stall FTR's momentum. Cash and Juice locked up, and Juice wrenched Cash's arm. Cash came back with a fireman's takeover. Cash monkey flipped Juice. All four men got in the ring and slugged it out. FTR hit stereo German suplexes on Bullet Club Gold. That shirt is looking very, very, very awesome. Dax lifted Cash and planted him on Juice with a leg drop. Cash hit an atomic drop and blasted Juice with a uppercut forearm. Juice retaliated with a hot shot. As the ref was distracted, Jay splatted Cash on the ring apron. Juice smashed Cash Wheeler with a senton. Jay grabbed a tag and applied a bear hug to Cash. Jay spatted at Hardwood and then put Cash in the Muda lock. Dax jumped in the ring and took a shot at Juice, breaking the hold. Jay White suplexed Cash into the turnbuckles for a near fall. Bullet Club Gold utilized quick tags to isolate Cash Wheeler in the corner. Wheeler went for a clothesline on Jay White, but White backdropped Wheeler out of the ring. Dax got a hot tag and cleaned house with a flurry of offense. Dax rocked White with two German suplexes. Dax put an exclamation point at the end of the sentence with a brainbuster to Switchblade. The fans chanted, "This is awesome." Cash planted Juice spy first on the ring apron. Dax climbed to the top turnbuckle and suplexed Jay White. Cash jumped from the top with an ace splash to White. Dax covered Switchblade for a near fall. Jay White nailed Cash with a sleeper suplex. Jay went for a Blade Runner, but Dax ran to save his partner. FTR tried to hit a big rig on Jay, but Juice jumped in the ring to save Jay. "Great escape from White," yelled Nigel. Love you so much, Melody. My name is, it's not Melody, it's Issa, but call me Mel. It's a lot easier. You'll end up remembering my name a lot easier. Dax grabbed a tag and FTR rocked Jay with a stuffed pile driver. Juice broke up the pin attempt on Jay, saving his team from defeat. "They refused to go quietly into the night," said Nigel. Jay White hit a regal plex on Dax for a near fall. Harwood used a rebound powerbomb on Switchblade, but Switchblade kicked out at two. "I can't believe it," said Kevin Kelly. Juice jumped in and connected with a leg lariat on Dax. Jay White rocked Cash with a Blade Runner. Jay White and Dax Harwood exchanged chops. Juice got a blind tag on Jay. Blind tag to Jay White. And while Dax continued to grapple with White, whom he thought was legal man, Juice spiked Dax with the juice box. Juice was able to pin Cash. Wheeler was able to break if the pin. Bullet Club Gold is one step away, said Nigel. Championship opportunity is on the way for Bullet Club Gold. And if they're going to do this, where they're going to do this is in All In. Hold on. Oh my God. It was announced that this Saturday, tomorrow, Battle of the Belts 7 is featured TNT champion Luchasaurus defending against Shawn Spears. Tony Schiavone was backstage with FTR. Bullet Club Gold interrupted him. "Juice, Tony, you're interviewing the wrong guys. We're the best tag team of the night." Jay White, "I think we might have ourselves the right to call ourselves the best tag team in the world." "Why?" "Because we just beat FTR. We've beaten you guys twice now. The only thing sweeter will be beating you twice in one night. 2 out of 3 falls for those championship belts. Dax, 2 out of 3 falls next week. You've got it." Wrong place to do this, but who am I to tell that I'm wrong? We have Action Andretti versus Scorpio Sky. Scorpio Sky and Action Andretti chain wrestle. Sky rolls up Action for a 2 count. Scorpio smashed Action with a double foot stomp to Action's back. Action fired back with a neck breaker to Scorpio Sky. He followed up with a tope suicida. He landed it perfectly, said Nigel. Action nailed Scorpio with a Spanish fly for a near fall. Action clocked Scorpio with a thrust kick. He followed up with a shotgun drop kick. Action attempted a split-legged moonsault, but Scorpio raised his knees, countered it. Scorpio rocked Action with a TKO and pinned him. After the match, as a sign of respect, Scorpio Sky helped Action to his feet. He's better off as a face than a heel, honestly. Main event time. The Owen Hart Foundation Men's Tournament. CM Punk versus the ROH World Television Champion Samoa Joe. What an atmosphere, said Nigel. Punk ducked a roundhouse kick from Samoa Joe. Punk chopped at Joe. Punk ducked a chop from Joe. This has been a long time coming, 18 years, said Nigel. The fans are chanting CM Punk, CM Punk. Punk jabbed at Joe, utilizing his quickness. Punk jumped off the turnbuckles, but Samoa Joe simply moved out of the way. Joe lifted up Punk's chest with a chops. Lit up Punk's chest with chops. He blasted Punk with a kick to the chest. Samoa Joe boxed Punk into the corner. Punk tried to rally back with flurry of offense. Joe forced Punk back down to the mat. Joe knocked Punk off the top turnbuckle with Punk crashing onto the arena floor. Punk's mouth was busted open as a result of a bludgeoning from Joe. Punk got to his feet, connected with a leg lariat. Samoa Joe locked on a sleeper. CM Punk countered with a suplex. What was left in the tank of CM Punk may have been just expelled, escaping from that hold, said Kevin Kelly. Punk connected with a running knee, and then a second running knee, and then a third. Punk hit a short arm lariat on Samoa Joe. Punk climbed to the top rope and dropped the elbow for a near fall on Samoa Joe. Punk hoisted Samoa Joe for the GTS, but Joe escaped and applied the crossface to Punk. CM Punk managed to reach the bottom rope, forcing the ref to break the hold. Samoa Joe used a pair of Kawada kicks on Punk. Joe snap powered slammed Punk for a 2 count. The fans chanted, Owen Hart, Owen Hart, Owen Hart. Punk surprised Samoa Joe with a high roundhouse kick. Samoa Joe knocked Punk off the top turnbuckle. Joe was looking for the muscle buster, but Punk fought out of it. He hit Joe with a neck breaker. Punk attempted the GTS again, but Samoa Joe countered going back to the chokehold. Punk escaped, rolled up Samoa Joe, and scored a victory. CM Punk wins. CM Punk wins. Finally, he has beaten Samoa Joe, said Kevin Kelly. What a match. CM Punk said, tell me when I'm telling lies. Tonight, Punk tells the truth. This is a new chapter in the rivalry of Samoa Joe and CM Punk, replied Nigel. And I'm here for it, people. I'm here for it. Punk advances to the finals next week. The Owen Hart Foundation Men's Tournament Finals. CM Punk against Ricky Starks, said Kevin Kelly. After the match, the fans chanted Owen Hart. Samoa Joe offered his hand to CM Punk as a sign of sportsmanship. CM Punk accepted Joe's stir, but then Samoa Joe, of who he is, he put him in the sleeper. I've always been better than you, said Samoa Joe. Joe went out of the ring to grab a steel chair, but thankfully FTR ran down to the ring to protect Punk. Absolute Ricky Stark walked onto the ramp and stared at Punk. Next week, Ricky Starks and CM Punk will honor Canadians' favorite son. I don't know, favorite son. I mean, you know, that's in the running with Bret Hart. I mean, come on. Not he's the favorite son, a favorite son. I mean, come on now. That's just a little going overboard, but it is what it is. Said Nigel. Next week, CM Punk versus Ricky Starks for the Owen Hart Tournament Trophy, added Kevin Kelly. And then we're going to go to Dynamite. Then I'm going to get you to SmackDown. And then I'm going to get you to Raw. We are coming from the Saskell Center in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Oh, did they go visit Brock Lesnar? I don't know. We got to ask Tony. We've got to ask Tony. Kicking off the show, we have Chris Jericho versus Commander. Quite an opponent for Jericho, I can tell you that, said Tony Schiavone. After Jericho pie-faced Commander fired back with forearms. Commander pushed Jericho back on into the corner with a drop kick. Commander is in command, said Shivani. Commander flipped off the top rope with a hurricanrana onto Jericho. Commander wiped out Jericho on the outside with a tornillo. Commander with crack Commander cracked Jericho with a running knee strike off the apron. Commander went to the well one too many times as Commander went for a springboard, but Jericho countered with a forearm. Jericho is working smart, not harder, said Excalibur. Jericho blistered Commander with chops and then followed up with Brainbuster for a near fall. Jericho ducked a roundhouse kick, but Commander surprised him with a heel kick. Jericho blocked a hurricanrana and rocked Commander with two consecutive power bombs. Commander dodged a lionsault and created Jericho for a near fall. Close call for Jericho, said Excalibur. Jericho shut down Commander with a lariat. Commander climbed the ropes, but Jericho shoved him down onto the turnbuckles. Commander headbutted Jericho and dropped him. Commander walked the ropes and hit a shooting star press on Jericho for a 2 count. Commander nailed Jericho with a Phoenix Splash for a near fall. Commander went back to up to the turnbuckles and jumped, but Jericho countered with a code breaker for a two fall for near two fall for a near fall. Sorry. Commander ducked the Judas effect. Commander went for a Dragon Rana, but Jericho put Commander in the Lion Tamer and forced Commander to tap out. If this is the start of a new Chris Jericho, it starts out on the right foot, said Tony Schiavone. Don Callis walked onto the ramp with a microphone. Hell of a match, kid. That's why you're the GOAT. Did you see the rating for our segment last week? The whole wrestling world is buzzing just at the possibility of Chris Jericho joining the Don Callis family. 28 years ago, you and I were part of a faction led by our mentor, the late, great Bad News Allen. I am a little nostalgic, but I did put together something, roll the tape. Clips of Don Callis teaming with Jericho, managed by Bad News Allen, played on the giant screen. Jericho, I do remember back in 1995, it's because I still have my hair. I actually remember Bad News was talking to me. He said to make sure that you and I always stick together. Callis, that's right. We did our promise to Bad News, but I feel like he's up there right now in heaven with a smile on his face, just the possibility of you joining the Don Callis family. I think your heart, you know what Bad News would want you to do. Alex Marvez backstage with Jungle Boy. Sorry, Jack Perry. Jack Perry, it's an unsafe work environment. FTW champ Hook jumped into the other side of the SUV, began to assault Jack Perry. Jungle Boy jumped out and away. Hook, keep running, Perry, keep running. Renee Paquette was backstage with Don Callis. Jericho is a fabulous athlete, but later tonight I'm going to the ring by myself and will announce the fifth member for the Blackpool Combat Club at Blood and Guts. And I'm not worried about Kenny Omega because he's a real coward. Blind Eliminator Tag Team Tournament. AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. I gotta blow my nose again. I am so sorry for this. I have allergies at the wazoo, and today it's going nuts. Oh my god. Sammy and Daniel came out individually to their respective entrance themes. Darby blasted Garcia with a shotgun dropkick after Garcia came back with an interference. He tagged himself back into the match. I don't think Guevara liked that too much, said Taz. I grabbed Darby by the neck and swung him around the ring. Garcia and Sammy used quick tags to isolate Darby. Sammy connected with jumping knee strike to Darby. Garcia charged at Darby, but Darby moved. Garcia inadvertently hit Sammy with a forearm as a result. Orange tagged in and spiked Garcia with a Michinoku driver for a near fall. Garcia dodged the Orange punch and countered with a Dragon Tamer. Orange hit a Stundog Millionaire, jumped in with a stunner to Garcia. Sammy came in, but Orange dropped him with a beach break. Garcia, the legal man, jumped back